Lena, I'm sorry. On the day you plan to come back from your parents' house with our daughter, I'm going to have to leave on a business trip.
What ended up happening that caused you to have to do that?
The person who was supposed to be going on the business trip was just admitted into the hospital with some lung problems, so I was asked to step in for them and got on this trip. There isn't anyone else in the department that knows as much as I do about the assignment, so I'm going to have to go in that person's place, so I won't be around for your return home.
I see. Well, that's not a problem, though. I'll figure something out, so you don't worry about me and focus on that trip. I can either ask someone else to come out here and get me, or have one of my parents take me home. I could also just stay out here at their house until you're back home, too.
Sorry about this. I should be home during this point in time, but things just started to fall apart one after another.
What are you talking about, Kenneth? Everything is totally okay right now. I get that you have to go out of town for a bit when I was planning on coming home, but you aren't doing it on purpose. Also, I can handle myself when things like this come up.
You have a good point. Thank you for saying that to me.
And another thing about you being a new dad is that you have to focus on your job just as much as your family, so please don't apologize for having to leave town. I'll be doing my best now as well, figuring out what to do next, so let's do our best together.
All right. Thank you, Alina. But there is actually one other thing I'm a bit worried about.
What's that?
I just got a message from my mom out of nowhere, and she seemed pretty upset. My little sister, Morgan, got a divorce and had to come back home to my parents' house.
What? That happened with Morgan? Once again, can we say that her timing was very good?
I'm sorry. Though I'm not sure why I'm apologizing for something like that. It's not going to solve anything.
So, as of right now, back over at your mom and dad's place, Morgan is there and will most likely be staying there for the long haul. I'll keep that in mind from now on.
If anything happens between you two, let me know right away. All right?
All right, I will. Morgan, I can hear you right now inside my house with someone else who has a much deeper voice than any woman I've heard before. What exactly is going on in there right now? Well, if it isn't my sister-in-law, Alina. I just got back to my house with my newborn daughter, and this is what I show up to? And how come my key no longer works to the house, making it impossible for me to open the door? Right now, I am beyond shocked by what all is going on here. So could you please enlighten me a little on what all is going on with you inside my house? Starting today, I'm making this place my house for good. You're being a nuisance right now, so could you please go back to your parents' house now? Excuse me? This happens to already be my house, Morgan. What are you talking about right now? This house? It's my house. I made sure to take it from you. And that means you can no longer call this place yours. Everyone already knows that that house is your brother's and mine, so would you stop trying to make such cruddy remarks about it? Now let me into my house right now. I have my baby in my arms right now that I just gave birth to a week ago, so how about you stop being a little brat and let me in? I don't care about you and your baby. Also, you've been out of this house for months now, so I'm sorry that you couldn't figure out that after being away for that long, the house would no longer be yours. I was away with my parents because I was going to have my baby girl, so don't start smart-mouthing me, little girl. Stop trying to bring that stinky little child into my house. Morgan, open the frickin' door! This house is for me and my older brother now, so you take that stinky little thing and go back to your parents' place. I'm not even going to let you into the front room, so you'd better get going before it starts getting cold out there. You are really pushing some very dangerous buttons right now, Morgan. But if that's how you want to behave still, then fine. I'll leave my house for you. All right. Did you know that I've always disliked you, Alina? I don't even get how my parents were able to endure you. Don't you ever come back around us, okay? Kenneth, your little brat of a sister has done it again.
Really? For God's sake.
She's gone into our house and taken it all for herself.
What?
I had just arrived there a little bit ago with the help of my dad. And as I was walking up to the house, I could hear Morgan in there with another person who I swear is a man. She went and did something to change the lock to the house, and I had no way of getting inside. And when I began to ask her to let me inside, she yelled at me, saying the house is hers and her older brother's now, and told me to leave. And then she started to call our daughter, our baby daughter, a thing. How the hell is this crap happening again, Kenneth?
Hey, calm down a little, Alina. Look, I totally understand that you're frustrated right now. And you, honestly, look, I do not blame you for that. Where are you right now, Alina?
I am at your parents' house right now. I called your mom about what happened, and she told us we could go over and stay with her. So I'm here right now with our daughter and my dad.
I see. Well, thankfully your dad was still around to help drive you and our girl over to my mom's place, but what the hell is Morgan thinking? And actually, how did she even get into the house in the first place?
Your mom told me that she couldn't find the spare key to our house anywhere and had been looking all over for it. She thinks Morgan took it from her.
God damn it. Well, if she was able to get that key, then she used it to get inside, and then probably unlocked all the doors from the inside, made sure to keep them locked.
Yeah.
Why the hell did this have to happen now, of all times?
Your mom was telling me that she had a talk with Morgan yesterday about some things. She said your little sister wasn't going to be allowed to stay too long at your parents' place this time, and that she needed to get a place of her own soon and find a job. That way she could move out and sustain herself for once. And, well, Morgan wasn't a fan of all that, rolling her eyes at your mom the whole time. Jumped to this morning, your mom woke up and couldn't find Morgan anywhere and started to wonder where she might have run off to.
So, she went and took our house after.
That's what it seems like.
I'm going to contact Morgan about this, so just hang tight. Wait for me to get back to you.
Sounds good. Good luck, Kenneth.
I was no use. I tried calling her over and over, yet she just kept sending my calls straight to voicemail. She won't even read any of my texts that I've sent her. Maybe she's gone and turned her phone off or something on me. I also tried calling the house phone, and nobody picked that up either.
I see. By the way, while you'd been trying to call your sister, your mom and I went through all of her things that she'd brought over here.
Her things?
These are all the things that her ex sent to your parents' house after the divorce, and so your mom made sure to put them all in your sister's old bedroom. Well, most of her things are all gone from here now, so we suspect that she took them all with her to our house.
Honestly, what the hell is wrong with her?
And, because of that, there's something I'd like to ask you.
What?
I've been thinking about what Morgan had said to me earlier, about how the house would be for her and you now. So I'm wondering, if you went to our house, would she still be willing to let you inside?
That's a good point.
I'm pretty sure she's going to be in our house for a while since she took all of her things with her. And so this can wait until you're back from your business trip. But when you have the chance, your mom and I would love for you to go over there and see what's going on with her, and then come back to your parents' house and tell us.
Understood. I'll be able to make it home tomorrow night, so before coming to you guys, I'll make a stop over at our house. And then we can start talking about what to do with Morgan.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thank you, Kenneth. Alina, Kenneth is back from his business trip now. And just like I was thinking, he's on my side. He was pretty surprised at first to see me in the house, but that's when I told him that the baby you had isn't even his. And he actually believed me without hesitation. Alina, did you actually do something you weren't supposed to do? I think my brother is no longer into you anymore. Sucks to suck, don't it? Well, now that he's on my side and no longer cares about you, this pretty much settles the fact that I own this place now. Alina, I would like you to take your baby with you and divorce my brother for me, please.
Alina, just like you were thinking, she let me into the house without question.
Thank God.
She started to go on about how the baby you gave birth to isn't even mine and all that, and was happy about it. So in order not to upset her any and let me in, I made sure to act as though I believed her, would no longer talk to you.
She was just texting me all about that a little bit ago. Right now she seems to think that you're on her side in all of this.
Understood. The fact that she would even say something like that about us, I'm not sure if I feel comfortable about her even being my sister anymore, you know?
Well, just don't worry about that for the time being. Just be happy you were able to make it inside our house. Now, while you're there, I'm going to get to work on what all needs to be done next here.
Roger that. But she is seriously determined to have this house and never let you back. You noticed that, right?
Well, something tells me her brain is aging a lot faster than the rest of her body, and that she's already becoming senile or something, which is causing her to go off the deep end. Or maybe it's a form of dementia. I'm not sure, but we need to make sure we do something about her before time gets away from us.
That's true. I can feel a chance to take care of her really soon here, though.
You think so?
When I have a bit more confidence in what's going on with her, I'll let you know what to do.
All right. Well, then I'll let you handle most of the work. Alina, I'm about to head out on a little vacation. I've actually gotten myself a new boyfriend, actually. And he invited me to go on a small little vacation overseas for the next 2 weeks. So I'll be leaving my house in the hands of my brother while I'm gone. And I made sure to tell him not to let you or that little smelly brat anywhere near this house. So don't even try anything while I'm gone. And hurry it up with that divorce, okay?
Hey, Alina. Morgan left the house 20 minutes ago. She just texted me saying she's on the bus to the airport now, so things should be just fine for you.
Understood. I'll let our little buddy know that things are going to plan here, all right?
All right, thanks. Now I'll need to pick up the pace here and make sure to get all of our things out of here.
Sorry that you're having to handle all of my things as well for me.
No worries. You already had to deal with enough now, so I can manage. Now I'm going to get to work here. Preparing everything.
Sounds good. And thank you again for all of that. Alina! Hi, Morgan. Today is the day you came back to the States, right? Welcome back. I hope your flight and everything was all right for you. Where is my house? What? You had a house, Morgan? I don't recall you ever having one. I took that house from you saying that I'd be living there with Kenneth, right? Don't you remember all of that? Well, I just got off the bus and my house isn't there anymore. All that's left is dirt and gravel. What happened to my house? I'm not sure what all happened to the house, but what I do know is that the place was getting pretty old. Huh? It seemed the right thing to do would be to have that old place torn down and have the land used for an apartment building or something. So I got in touch with a good old friend of mine and had him and his company take care of all the demolition work. What? They're going to start the construction of that building here in the next few days, so I wouldn't stick around there too long as they'll need all the space they can get. What is going on here? How dare you demolish my house like that? Are you freaking kidding me right now? I'm sorry, but I have the right to choose what I want to do with my property. I'm not sure what house of yours you're talking about, but that house was mine. Shut up! That house was mine! The land is mine! Technically, it's all my brother's stuff, but that also means that it's mine. And I know you and him were working on getting a divorce from one another, right? Well, now you've gone and really done it, Alina. I'm going to make sure you have to pay for vandalizing our things. Morgan, how about you cut that BS right now and get a grip? I know that I'm not the most patient of people in this world, but I think I gave a lot of my patience for you, and you're still acting like a child. That house, the one you keep saying somehow became yours, was originally built by my grandparents. What? After they both passed away, it was given to my uncle, and he lived there by himself for a little while. But once he had retired from his job and planned to move out to where his wife was living, my parents agreed to allow him to give me the house. So he went and changed the name on the place to my name, making it my house. What? And for a while now, I've been paying the bills on that house, and it has been written down in all my taxes. So not only am I saying it was my house, but it is, by law, my house. What the? Normally, wouldn't the house become your husband's after you get married? I don't think that matters. Dang, what am I going to do? How am I going to explain all of this to my brother now? You don't have to worry about your brother anymore, Morgan. Right now, I'm with him, and we're both moving into our new house as you and I speak. Huh? Sorry, Morgan. But from the very beginning, your brother was lying to you about being on your side in all of this, as he was only doing that to fool you into letting him plan things out more solidly. Really, he's always been on my side. No way! And he never once believed that bullcrap about my daughter not being his kid. I'll have you know, actually, that your brother and I worked very hard making our daughter and needed some help from a doctor due to some issues because of fertility. So Kenneth was there as he watched me be impregnated. There was no way another man could have gotten me pregnant, as they would have had to go through all the efforts your brother and I did. You're lying. Then where am I supposed to go now? Good point. Personally, I think you should go to hell for all the crap you pulled this time around. But a better place would be a doctor so they can test your head and find out what the hell is wrong with you. However, before you go and do that, maybe try your parents' house first. What? We had all of your things taken out of the house and sent back to your mom so that they wouldn't be destroyed when the house came down. So you're very welcome for that. Wait! By the way, Morgan, I think there's something you forgot to do. Something so very important, and you've put it off so long now that it's past the due date. Could that be your settlement that you need to pay your ex? What? How do you know about that? Your ex-husband's lawyer was calling your parents' house, and they so happened to get to talking. The lawyer was telling your parents that you signed off on paying your husband $500 a month until you finished paying off the full $10,000 you owe him. However, he still hasn't gotten a dime out of you. Wait, no way. And the reason for that divorce in the first place was because you cheated on your husband. But I put in so much work making sure my parents never ever knew about that and thought the divorce was something we both wanted. So that neither my mom or dad knew a thing about the settlement. Well, had you just started paying off your settlement like you agreed to doing, then the lawyer would have never had to call your parents' house and none of us would have known the truth. But you decided to be a dumbass and not pay your husband every month, and that is why he had his lawyer get in touch with your family. So you can't go blaming others for your own faults, because you are in your late 20s now, and children are only legally children until the age of 18. Now stop acting like a frickin' brat and take all of the responsibility you have. What the hell? I was doing so well avoiding everyone. Who the hell do you all think you are anyway? The whole reason Morgan thought that it would be a good idea to take my house from me was because she thought out of everyone, her older brother would side with her and defend her. Apparently her parents were both telling her to get a job and stop acting like a freeloader all the time, and that set her off. So in an attempt to avoid her mom and dad, she stole the duplicate key and made a break for it while Kenneth and I weren't home. Once she felt that she had the place all to herself, she thought that she could act tough and started to tell me how much she hated me before telling me to never come back. Also, when it comes to that man she went overseas with a little bit after taking my house over, she only started dating him because he had money, and so she thought he could start helping her pay off the settlement from her ex. But at the end of their vacation overseas, he knew what she was after and told her to never talk to him again, before getting on a different plane than her and going off to somewhere she'd never find him. And so with that, Morgan was back to square one, where she would have to pay off that settlement all by herself. However, Morgan came back to no home, and her parents were both so pissed off with her that they took all of her things that were not necessary and threw them in the trash. They then told her to take her single bag of clothing and wait outside for a van to come and pick her up. That would be taking her far away to one of her parents' family friends' logging camps. There, she would begin working 6-month-long rotations out in the middle of nowhere, saving her money that she made in order to pay off the settlement, which had now doubled because she broke the contract. I've heard that right now she's always crying and whining on the job, so much to the point that multiple men on the site have told her to shut her mouth before they drop a tree on her.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Kylie, I need to know when you intend on standing on your own 2 feet for once. It's time you learn to be independent, young lady.
Huh? Stand on my own 2 feet? Be independent? But I haven't lived with you for years now, Mom. Besides, I've been sending you a monthly allowance for God knows how long. I don't want to be rude, but surely if either of us are independent, it's me.
Don't get clever with me, girl. It's funny you should mention the allowance, actually, because it's actually that I'm upset with you about. You've been lying to me this whole time, haven't you? You've got some nerve to do this to your own mother.
Lying to you? Me? What the hell? About what?
I know it was really your little brother Oliver sending me my monthly allowance all along. He finally confessed to me in floods of tears that it was him sending me $1,000 a month for these last 12 years. It might look like he's not working at a glance, but he actually works from home. And it turns out he makes quite a lot of money. Did you know that? What a little star my boy is.
That's the first I've heard of it.
But because he's so kind, generous, and big-hearted, and because he thinks so much of you as his big sister, he went out of his way to send you the money so you could send it to me from your account and take the credit at a sympathetic consideration for your unfortunate position. In doing so, he made it look like the money was coming from you all along. I can't believe he went so far out of his way to protect your dignity. Oh, that's my Oliver. He's really the kindest boy there ever was.
My unfortunate position? I don't even... Hang on, Mom. Wait a sec. Do you actually believe him? I can't believe anyone would fall for a lie this obvious.
Don't be silly. There's no way my darling Oliver would ever lie to his mother. The boy's an angel, and I won't have anyone tell me otherwise.
That boy? Mom, please. He's a 26-year-old man who lives alone in his perpetually dark bedroom, surrounded by empty potato chip packets and questionable amounts of used tissue paper. Will you just stop and think about this? Oliver was a kid in middle school 12 years ago when the monthly allowance payments started. He didn't get his first part-time job until high school. Even if this working from home stuff is true, exactly how do you suppose he came up with $1,000 a month for those first few years when he was a child?
Good grief, Kylie. When will you ever realize that it's exactly this kind of obsessing over minor, trivial details that causes people to find you insufferably boring?
All I'm doing is pointing out the inconsistencies in what you're saying. But I see. So this is how you speak to me after I send you $1,000 a month for 12 years, is it? All right, I understood. You believe Oliver unconditionally, no matter what he says, never questioning a thing. But with me, your default response is to treat me like a liar. I mean, it's not like I was doing it because I wanted you to be grateful. I did it because you're family, and I figured I didn't really mind having to tighten my belt and be careful with my spending if it meant helping you out.
Oh, please. Stop pretending like you're some saint, dear. You're making me feel physically sick. Drop the act and admit it. I know it was your little brother sending me $1,000 a month all along. I have nothing to be grateful to you for.
I see how it is. Well, in that case, I'll let Oliver carry on with the payments directly, since you obviously don't need me to be involved with them at all. Just to be clear, you don't need me to have any further involvement in the payments, is that right?
Yes, that's right. Fine, I'll leave everything up to your brother from now on. Actually, it's probably for the best. I think this is probably the best way to stop that ego of yours getting overinflated. You're so useless, so why don't you do me a favor and disappear?
Sure thing. You know what? That actually works great for me. I feel like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. Goodbye.
Hey, is that my scumbag big sister? This is your big brother, and the supreme master of your life. And I have a direct order for you. Starting from next month, you're gonna start adding an extra $500 onto the monthly $1,000 you've been sending to Mom's bank account. And also, and this part's important, you're gonna start sending it directly to my bank account instead. I told Mom it was me sending her $1,000 a month indirectly through you this whole time. Let's face it, Mom's gonna be way happier living with me. I was always her favorite. You can think of the extra $500 as a thank you for my troubles. Oh, and by the way, if you're feeling extra generous and want to help out your awesome little bro even more, you're more than welcome to bump that extra $500 up to $1,000 or $2,000. Alright, I'm counting on you, sis. The payments start next month. Do I make myself clear? Sweet. Alright, peace. Hey, is that my rotten, filthy, stinking sister? You were supposed to start sending me that money today. I just checked my banking app, but nothing went in. Is it bugging out, or are you just being a lazy dumb slacker who can't even remember what day of the month it is? If it's the second one, stop lazing around and see to it that $1,500 goes into my account as soon as goddamn hacking possible. Get a move on, bitch. Hey! Mom won't stop nagging me about her monthly allowance money. Where is it? Hurry the hell up before I get seriously mad. You're the biggest blockhead dumb bitch loser I've ever met in my life. This is why you never trust a woman with anything involving money. Is it any wonder Mom hates you when you act like this? Get that 1.5k paid directly into my bank account by first thing tomorrow morning.
Kylie, hurry up and send me this month's $1,000.
Excuse me? I thought we agreed Oliver was going to send you it himself directly from now on. Why are you asking me for money all of a sudden? I thought you didn't need anything from me.
It's not that I don't need it. Actually, I'm doing you a favor by allowing you the privilege of sending me the money again. You know, it's not good to rely on your brother to do everything for you, right?
You're doing me a favor.
Yes, that's right. Me and Oliver have decided that that's what's best for your personal development. I hope you're grateful to your amazing little brother. He's been very kind to you, you know. There aren't many people who'd let you take the credit for sending their mother $1,000 a month. Now he says he decided to actually let you take over with the payments for real. Instead of tossing you in the garbage where you belong, he's very kindly giving you the opportunity to prove yourself as a decent, respectable human being and finally serve a purpose to this family.
You'll have to forgive me, but I'm a little confused. I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
That's fine, dear. You might be too dense to understand what I'm talking about, but all that matters is that you take over from Oliver with my $1,000 monthly payments. I'm sure you'll figure out what's going on before long. Listen, forget all that. Don't overexert yourself with too much thinking. Just send me my $1,000 now. Oh, that reminds me. You'll also be sending Oliver $500 a month, won't you?
Why would I do that?
It seems like your darling brother's been coming up with all sorts of ways for you to prove yourself as a respectable human being. Think of sending him $500 a month as your way of saying thanks.
Oh, it's fine. He doesn't have to help me prove anything.
What?
I already decided to leave everything involving the money to Oliver. Even if neither of you see me as a respectable human being, I seriously couldn't care less.
Kylie!
I guess you could say my feelings regarding anything involving the two of you have become numb. Dad died 3 months after I moved out after getting my first job. And with that, you had to buy groceries and pay the rent with no breadwinner. I couldn't just leave you to fend for yourselves. So out of a sense of duty to you as my family, I scrimped and saved. And I did everything I could to get you that $1,000 for 12 years straight. And to think this is how you repay me? By treating me with contempt and disdain? Like I'm a piece of dirt on the bottom of your shoe? I guess you could say my eyes were opened. And now I can see you for what you really are.
What are you talking about? All we're talking about here is you taking over the payments for my monthly allowance that Oliver has been taking care of until now. You've been free to do what you want all this time while your brother bore the burden. All I'm saying is that the gravy train is coming to its final stop, and it's finally your turn to pull your socks up and pay your dues to this family. You only have yourself to blame for this, my dear. Do I make myself clear? This is your fault and nobody else's. If you understand, I suggest you send me my $1,000 as soon as possible. Oh, and send Oliver his $500 while you're at it. If I don't see that money by tomorrow, I'll have no choice but to call your company and demand that they start paying your salary directly into my account. Kylie, what's going on here? Is it true that you quit your job?
Huh?
Remember how I told you I'd have your boss send your salary to my bank account instead of yours if you failed to pay up the $1,500 you owe us? Since I didn't get my money before the allotted deadline of yesterday, I had no choice but to give your boss a call. And when I did, he told me you quit your job ages ago. I can't believe you'd quit your job just to get out of paying me my monthly allowance. You're rotten to the core. You disgust me. Oh my God, This means you're unemployed, doesn't it? You better not think you're allowed to come back to this house to leech off me just because you can't afford to feed or clothe yourself anymore. You better not go begging to your brother Oliver for any money either. You're on your own now.
Was the company you phoned called Dunkin' Food Products by any chance?
Yes, they're the company you got a job with after graduating high school, if I remember correctly.
Yep, you remember correctly, but I quit that place half a year ago.
Huh? Half a year ago?
I read about crypto trading online a few years ago and thought it looked like fun, so I figured it wouldn't hurt to put aside a tiny chunk of my salary every month to play around with the markets. Things went way better than I expected, and I eventually got so good that other people online were asking me for advice. I decided to set up my own crypto trading advice forum. Before long, I was making more money than my old job and no longer had the time to balance them both, so I quit Dunkin' Food Products.
Wait, you did? Hang on, dear, what's a crypto?
I won't bore you by going into detail, but let me give you a simple explanation. It's the future of global finance. I won't pretend to be a millionaire yet, but things are going very well, and I'm making way more money than I ever was at the food company, so I saw no reason to stay.
Ah, that's fantastic, dear. So the $1,500 you owe me and your brother shouldn't be a problem then.
I have one more announcement to make. I'm getting married.
Married?
That's the other reason I quit my job. My fiancé's a guy I met at the company. He's Japanese, and he was only ever at our branch as part of a temporary work placement. He's heading back to Japan soon, and I decided I'm going to go with him and start my new life in Osaka.
You're marrying a foreign person?
Yep, that's right. All of my work is online, so I can do it from anywhere. But sadly for you guys, me and Takeshi are going to have to be careful with our finances, what with moving countries, running a household, and managing my company. So I'm afraid I don't have a single cent to spare. Please, get the money from Oliver like we agreed last month.
Fine, whatever. It's not like it's the end of the world. I guess Oliver does earn enough that he's been paying me $1,000 a month for the last 12 years. I suppose if that means a tragic failure of a human being that is my good-for-nothing daughter disappearing from both our lives for good, then I should be thankful.
All right, great. So we agreed that Oliver will be taking over your allowance payments, and I'll never be speaking to either of you again.
Fine by me.
One more thing. The contract on this phone is set to end the day I leave America, so you won't be able to contact me after I leave for Japan.
Yep, whatever. I have zero intention of messaging you anyway, so who cares? All I need is my dear beloved son Oliver. The two of us will be fine without you.
Right. Bye.
Hey, is that my bitch sister? What the hell is this crap I'm hearing from Mom? You're not gonna pay her allowance? What are you doing? Not only that, but you're moving to Japan? What the heckin' heck are you playing at? I knew you liked anime, but I didn't know you were this much of a weeb freak. You're free to go wherever you like, but let me make one thing clear. You will be paying me and Mom our allowances. $1,500 a month. No, $2,000. Actually, $2,500. Yep, that's right. I'll very kindly let you off the hook for your abominable behavior for the low price of $2,500 a month for the rest of your life.
Why does the amount keep going up?
Haha! There you are. You finally replied. Where's my money, bitch?
Oh, that's strange.
What is?
According to what Mom told me, far from being the unemployed neat loser I thought you were, you're actually a high-rolling home worker earning a fat paycheck with nothing but your laptop. The $1,000 I foolishly thought I'd been sending to Mom every month for the last 12 years was actually coming from you all along, right?
Huh? No. Wait a sec. That's just the story I told her.
But me and Mom just agreed that she didn't need me to send her money ever again. And she said she's totally fine with you paying her that $1,000 a month from now on. She disowned me and agreed to never speak to me again.
She did what?
You've always been on her side, right? So naturally, this automatically means me and you will be cutting ties too.
What? No. If you do that... Oh my god. The monthly allowance.
You make big bucks working from home, right? You've been paying Mom $1,000 a month for the last 12 years, right?
No, that was...
Anyway, I'm a little busy right now. See ya.
Kylie, I need some money, please. Oliver's been lying to me. He lied to me about everything. He said he lied about working from home to put my mind at ease. In light of the little white lie he told me in good faith out of consideration for my feelings, I hereby nominate you once more to pay me my $1,000 a month allowance. Now hurry up and get that money into my bank account. Please. I had less than $100 when I last checked my balance. Things really aren't looking great for your mother here, dear.
Ah, Mom. Good morning.
Kylie.
The contract on my phone's about to end.
What? Now?
Me and Takeshi are leaving for Japan tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
All right, I'm gonna turn it off now.
No, Kylie. Please. Wait.
Goodbye forever. I heard everything I'm about to tell you from my Aunt Sylvie, who received a desperate SOS message from my panicking mother at 2 a.m. in the morning. Apparently, my mom and Oliver drove out to Denver Airport in a crazed rush to try and track me down, and were picked up by security after running around the terminals, accosting strangers to ask whether they'd seen a woman with red hair and an Asian man. Aunt Sylvie said the plan was to stop me from leaving for Japan, but in the usual fashion, they hadn't stopped to think about the consequences of their actions. They realized the gravity of their situation when it dawned on them that they'd spent my mom's last $100 filling up the car with gas to get to the airport, and were now stuck hundreds of miles away from home, having no choice but to call Aunt Sylvie begging for help. The funniest thing is, we left from Phoenix Airport. Unbelievably, my mom even asked Aunt Sylvie to take over the monthly allowance payments, which Aunt Sylvie naturally declined. She called them lazy bums, told them to go to the job center, and totally abandoned them for their sheer brazen arrogance. By some miracle, both my mom and brother managed to find low-paying factory work, and now their status as poverty-stricken debt grovelers is all but confirmed. To make matters even more hilarious, the fact that neither of them have ever had a job before means they spend every day stressed out and angry at their boss, their coworkers, and each other, and most appropriately, themselves. Last I heard, they spent every day spewing profanities and making empty threats at each other in a beat-up house with a severe cockroach infestation.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Vicky, how's it hanging, girl? Whoop-dee-doo, it's me, Louise. You know, your childhood friend and favorite person in the whole wide world. Favorite person in the world? Like hell, seriously? You must be dreaming if you think that. Sure, we might have known each other as kids, but I wouldn't go as far as calling us friends. I regret the fact that we were even acquaintances, so the words Louise and friend most certainly do not go in the same sentence. How can you be deluded enough to believe I actually like you? I mean, geez, you were annoying even when we were kids. You say all that, my dear, but actions speak louder than words. You didn't block my number, did you? Which can only mean you think of me as your best friend in the whole wide world and can't bear the thought of a life without me in it. Believe me, the thought of a life without you in it sounds like paradise. No, the only reason I didn't block you yet is because I know you're so screwed in the head you'd go insane if you couldn't check up on me with your trivial, nonsensical messages every 5 minutes. I promise you, if the thought of you doing something crazy if I blocked you wasn't so terrifying, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Jeez, Vicky, how about you, take a chill pill for once? Anyways, I wanted to ask about that guy you started dating lately. I heard the rumors. Is it true? If so, I can't believe the Vixter finally got a boyfriend. How long has it been now? You know how long it's been, and why exactly has it been so long? Or did you forget about how you got involved with my last boyfriend 2 years back and ended up causing a bunch of drama that led to us breaking up? Huh? No recollection. Nope, I don't know a thing about why he dumped you after a steamy romp with a mystery girl down the alleyway by your house. Oh, so you're still proud of it then? You really are beyond saving. How many of my boyfriends have you interfered with by now? I literally lost count of how many of my relationships you screwed up. But it won't be happening again because I'm finally free of you. It was hard for me to muster up the motivation to even look for a guy with the thought of you sticking your nose in and messing things up for us, niggling away at me in the back of my mind. Anyway, will that be all? I don't want to speak to you. Hey, wait, I'm not done yet. There's so much I want to know. I have some other things to deal with, and my life is pretty hectic right now. Stop trying to give me even more stuff to worry about with your irritating nonsense. Hey, Vicky. It's about that stuff we talked about before, you know, about your boyfriend. For God's sake, Louise, what do you want now? I have enough on my plate without you bugging me. I don't need this right now. You know how much I hate you, don't you? Don't you? Please, just leave me alone. The only reason I reply to your messages at all is because I know there's a pretty strong chance of you coming to my house and causing a scene if I don't. But believe me, you're the last person on the planet I want to speak to. The truth is, you're not even worth a second of my time, and I'd really, really appreciate it if you'd leave me alone. This is exactly what you always do. You have such a funny way of insulting me. It cracks me up every time. You're the most unintentionally entertaining person I have ever met. Huh? What? Like, it makes me want to annoy you just to see what kind of crazy reaction I'll get. You're like the nerds in school who I used to get into trouble by quietly annoying them in class until they flipped out and got told off by the teacher. You seriously have a personality disorder. How can you not realize what a despicable human being you are? It's like, will she be hot? Will she be cold? Will she be needlessly and hilariously aggressive? Every time I speak to you, it's a roller coaster of emotions because I never know what kind of Vicky I'm gonna get. My God, you really are a pain in the ass. Fine, if that's how it is, I'm only gonna reply to you when I feel like I absolutely have to from now on. Huh? And so what if you do show up at my house? It just dawned on me that all I have to do is not answer the door and it's like you magically don't exist. If you do anything crazy, I'll just call the cops. Problem solved. The cops? As usual, you don't appear to have anything serious to talk to me about this time either, so we're officially done here. Wow. Stop being so cold, you big meanie. This is no way to speak to your childhood bestie and favorite person in the whole solar system. Let's chat some more, Vicky. Vicky. Besides, I want to hear all about your new boyfriend. Damn you, Vicky. Hey. So, you really do have a new boyfriend, huh? I had a feeling it was true. So it's him, is it? He is so my type. What should I do? I can't help but feel a mega hunk like him is wasted on someone like you. Is it finally time to make my move? Vicky. You just gonna carry on ignoring me? As your childhood best friend and favorite person in the whole universe, that makes me feel super duper mega lonely. But what you don't know is that blanking me like this has cost you something you hold very dear, something you'll never be able to take back. You don't know what it is yet, but you will soon. Should I give you a hint? It's about the thing you seem super reluctant to talk to me about. You know the one. You'll be happy to know my investigation proceeded swimmingly, and I found out everything I needed to. Who knows? The day I can finally reveal the good news could be just around the corner. I mean, I'd love to tell you if you finally replied to my messages, but we both know you're too damn stubborn to be an adult about this. Oh well, get excited, girl, because you're in for the surprise of a lifetime. You are so gonna want to reply when you hear this. Listen, Vicky, the thing is, I did it with your boyfriend. He was super forward with me. He really is macho, huh? Me and him have such amazing chemistry you wouldn't believe. It's like we were made for each other. And guess what? He says he prefers me to you now. He said, baby, I'll never let you go until the day we both die, with this hypnotized, spellbound look on his face. Isn't that romantic? I've been wanting to do this for ages. You have no idea how good it felt to hear him say that. Sorry for stealing your boyfriend again, loser. Huh? Hello? Can you read? I just said your boyfriend told me he likes me more than you. Louise, I don't have a boyfriend. Huh? I'm replying to you now because I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, and I'm mildly concerned you might have done something you might end up regretting. Seriously, who are you talking about? Oh, stop it, Vicky. I know that hunk you're always with is your boyfriend, so there's no point in trying to hide it. Who I'm always with? You always walk with him before and after work, right? I've seen you together. That was until recently. I bet he stopped talking to you all of a sudden, right? Am I right? That's because he's been spending all his time staying at hotels with me. Your eyes would pop out of your head if you knew about all the steamy fun we've been having together. And that's not all. When I asked him about his job, he said he was the son of the president of the company you guys both work at. There was me thinking I was just stealing your boyfriend, but I accidentally bagged myself a future CEO. I never cease to amaze myself. Anyway, now I know how rich he's set to become. I just have to marry him. Don't get in our way, okay? I know this is gonna suck big time for you, but it's time to accept you weren't good enough and move on. This guy you've been seeing, is his name Kelvin by any chance? Yep, like I even need to say it. You know exactly who I mean. Why ask me that, you dummy? Don't pretend you didn't know. Louise, I need you to calm down and listen to me. What? Kelvin used to be my stalker. Huh? There's no doubt about it. He is the son of our company's president, and it is looking like he's going to be the new CEO one day. But that doesn't make him any less dangerous. Huh? Dangerous? What do you mean? Oh, wait a sec. I know exactly what this is. I get it. Must be painful to have yet another boyfriend stolen by me. But our souls are connected now, which means I know him better than anyone. So your desperate lies aren't gonna wash with me. My Kelvin, dangerous? Give me a break. I've never heard anything so ridiculous. Don't say I didn't warn you. Yeah. If you have the time to be jealous over my boyfriend, why not do something more productive with your grief and look for a new one of your own? Yo, Vicky, where do you think I am right now? You'll never guess. I'm in Guam. Kelvin brought me here on a vacation. Also, I quit my job. Me and Kelvin getting married is pretty much set in stone at this point, so I figured there was no sense in me carrying on working my office cubicle job. When I told him I was bored with all this new free time I had on my hands, he brought me on vacation to Guam. Can you believe what a sweetheart he is? Wait, what am I saying? Of course you can. He used to be your boyfriend. Anyway, that's not all. Guess what? He paid for us to stay in the VIP suite at the top of the Duples Group Hotel. Oopsie. Looks like me and your ex are madly in love with each other and set to spend a week of steamy romance in luxury paradise. I would never have imagined my plan would go this well in a million years. Sucks to be you, huh, Vicky? I'm the happiest girl in the world. Vicky, help me. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I never expected this to happen. No. Vicky, please, this is terrifying. Shut up. You're making my phone buzz like crazy and it's annoying me. Let me guess, your relationship isn't going as well as you thought it would? My relationship? No way, I broke up with Kelvin ages ago. Oh? I found another guy on a higher salary than him, so obviously I did what any girl would do in that situation and started dating him instead. But Kelvin won't stop following me. Wherever I go, he's there. Things were going so great with my next husband candidate. Or at least they were, until Kelvin showed up while we were out to dinner and caused a huge scene in front of everyone and screwed everything up. He is ruining my life. I spend every waking moment in fear of what he'll do next. What the hell is with him? He's actually deranged. Good grief, I knew this would happen. Huh? I told you he was a stalker. I told you clearly and explicitly that he was stalking me, and you chose to ignore it. How can you act surprised when he turns out to be a clingy weirdo? Wait, what? You were being serious about that? Why else would I say it? I thought you were just bad-mouthing him to get revenge on me because you were salty about being dumped. Whatever. From my perspective, this can only be a good thing. Thanks to you luring him away, he seems to have totally given up on me. He hasn't bugged me in weeks now. You have no idea how grateful I am for what you've done for me, Louise. He was making my life a living hell. What? But why didn't you tell me this before I got involved with him? I did. I told you he was dangerous. Go on, scroll up and look through the messages. It's all there. You're the one who ignored me and insisted you knew him better than anyone. You have no one to blame for this but yourself. How does the saying go? You made your bed, now lie in it. Oh my God. Fine, you were right. I admit it. You can have him back now. You will take him back, won't you? Excuse me? If you can tempt him back into your arms, he's sure to leave me alone. Don't you think that's a good idea? Tempt him back into my arms? What the hell are you talking about? We were never dating to begin with. Huh? So why were you together every single day? How can a guy and girl spend every single day together and not be dating? That's just weird. We weren't together. He was following me for the millionth time. What? We got put on the same team on a project at work a few months back. I guess he took a liking to me because he hasn't left me alone ever since. Well, until you came along and saved my butt, that is. Maybe in his mind he really was my boyfriend, but I can assure you, in reality, he most certainly was not. To me, he was nothing but a source of stress and a royal pain in the ass. Well, in that case, you must know how I feel. Help me. Nope. Why not? Because I despise you. Even in spite of that, I was still kind enough to try and warn you. It's not my fault you ignored me. I have no obligation to help you anymore. Get out of the mess you made by yourself. Oh my God! Vicky, I can't do this anymore. What should I do? Does this kind of crap actually happen outside of movies? Please respond, Vicky. I am begging you. I'm barely eating or sleeping with all the stress this psycho is putting me under. I know you'll help me if you know how bad my situation is. You're a kind person, aren't you? I'm serious. This is bad. I'm pregnant with Kelvin's baby. Hello? What should I do? You're the only person I have to rely on. My parents are no use. They divorced a while back when they both found out they were cheating on each other, and they're locked in a vicious divorce battle right now and don't even have time to talk to me. I don't have any brothers and sisters. I don't speak to any of my relatives. You're the only one I can rely on. My childhood friend, Vicky, please. I thought I was your favorite person in the world. I am begging you to help me. I'll do anything. Vicky, I'm begging you. Please respond. Vicky! I was in the middle of a drinking party with my work buddies when Louise started spam calling me. Due to a funny coincidence, Kelvin, the source of all her recent problems, also happened to be there. And in an even more amusing coincidence, my coworker, who was sitting right next to me, unintentionally caught a glimpse of the "Kelvin got me pregnant" message. By this point, my coworker was wasted, and before his rational brain could stop him, he yelled, Kelvin, Louise is pregnant! At the top of his lungs in front of all of our co-workers, causing an epically embarrassed Kelvin to make a dash for the exit and disappear faster than you can say, oopsie. I'm not so clear on the details of what happened next, but what I do know is that Louise and Kelvin got engaged the very next day. At a glance, you might be forgiven for thinking Louise is marrying him for the money, what with him being the CEO's son and all. But in reality, the drinking party was actually a farewell send-off for Kelvin, who got demoted and transferred to another branch after being found to be abusing his managerial position by taking bribes at work, meaning any hopes he had of becoming CEO were dashed against the rocks in a heartbeat in magnificent and hilarious fashion. I suspect his dad, the CEO, would rather have fired him, but the president's son being fired for accepting bribes would have been a PR disaster. So he opted to demote him to an irrelevant position at a rural company branch instead. Word has it that he took a major salary hit, which means the luxury lifestyle Vicky dreamed of will remain but a dream. The reality of her mistakes must have bared down on her heavily when she realized she was set to spend the rest of her life in financial austerity with a stalking weirdo in a small house built in the middle of nowhere.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget